Hello and welcome. My name is Carla, and we're going to talk about why people lose their home in a default and what happens and why people end up losing their home. First of all, my name is Carla Burris. Just to do an introduction, I am a California mortgage and real estate broker, and I have a private firm called Flex Cash Funding that help people recover in difficult situations. I am not an attorney, and this is not legal advice. I'm just speaking from my 20 plus years in financing and working in real estate and helping distressed homeowners not lose everything and recover it all. So let's talk about why do people end up losing their home in default, okay? Because the majority of people who get a notification of default end up losing their home, not because they don't have any options, not because there's not a way out, but the number one reason is because they do nothing. That's just the number one reason. And why is that? Because every situation where I have had a client who has been in default, 100% of the time they're going through something, right? Because you don't just default on your mortgage without going through something. Clearly, something is happening. Either you lost someone in your family, either you're going through some type of depression because something personal happened to you, there's some type of tragedy, there's maybe a loss of your income. There's something that happened that got that mortgage behind, and now what happens is people are wallowing in a bed of shame, disappointment, grief, anger, and those things can bring you to a place of silence where you don't reach out and you don't ask for help. And so I encounter a lot of times with dealing with notification default, a lot of people are suicidal because people just don't see hope and light at the end of the tunnel. They feel this tremendous amount of shame. And so the number one reason why people lose homes is because they just can't get themselves up out of what they're going through to advocate and fight for themselves. And that's where people like myself step in to bring light and bring hope and bring encouragement and let you know that a home is not the end of your journey. That just like you got this home, that there's another home for you, but that we want you to not lose everything. And we want you to be able to get the strength to advocate for yourself. Okay. So if you have a notification of default, the first thing that I would tell you is just take a deep breath and disagree with the shame and the anger and the frustration, whatever emotions that you're feeling that are keeping you from being able to fight for this thing. And there's sometimes I see people that have a notification of default and lose their property because there was some type of fraud, right? And, or somebody took a loan out. And in their name, they had no knowledge of it. I see a lot of senior abuse, and so, whatever your situation is, and the reason why you're in a notification default, just disagree and don't agree with shame and try to let it go so that you can get the strength so that you can fight for yourself. Because the last thing that you want to do is do nothing because you have a notification of default. Now you have all of these people calling you and they want to buy your home, and people have audacity. So they're sending you letters and they're coming and knocking on your door because investors, everybody's looking for an opportunity in your house now that they know because the notification of default is a public record. And so now they know that you are in default and you are scheduled to lose your house if you do nothing. Now they want to come in and say, okay, well, this is our opportunity to leverage and get a property that we can buy for low and sell for high. Okay. And so try not to be frustrated with that, but just try to figure out how it is that you're going to advocate for yourself. What are you going to do to advocate for yourself? Okay. Okay, so there are several options that you have. You can push the notification of trustee sale. So you get a notification of default. That means that you're behind 3 months on your mortgage payment, and you have 3 months before they can put your house up legally to be auctioned off. They don't need your permission for that. You don't need to move out for that to happen. They will they will put a date for your house to be put up on the market for auction. You don't have to be there. They'll somebody will purchase your house while you're still living in it, and then after they sell it, the sheriff will come within a certain amount of time and not give you any time to leave and ask you to leave and lock you out the property. So we don't, and then all the equity that you had will be gone. Okay, and that's why investors come and they ask to buy your property for next to nothing, because they know that if you don't do anything, that's your trajectory, right? And so the first thing you want to do is you want to uncover or talk to a professional like myself. If you're in the state of California, I'm a mortgage broker. So besides having a private firm that I help people with hard money loans to not lose their house. I also do traditional lending. So you want to find out if there's a traditional path for you. Generally speaking, traditional lending is out of the question because of the 3 months late. And 100% of the time, your credit has been affected by those mortgage lates because a 30-day late is bad, a 60-day late is worse, and a 90 days is even worse than that. So first thing you want to do is consult and find out where you are in your loan. Here's a trap where people get caught up in. It's the loan modification trap. A lot of people are talking to customer service representatives and mortgage people at their mortgage company, and they're penning a mortgage modification. I hear this all the time. I'm getting a modification. I'm getting a modification. I'm getting a modification. And while I would love to believe that 100% of people are going to receive a modification, most people don't. Not because they don't qualify, because most people don't send in the paperwork, they don't get it notarized, and they don't qualify. So a modification is still the bank still wants to see that you have the ability to pay the mortgage. So the question you have to ask yourself is, why did you default? Did you lose an income? Did you lose your job? Did someone pass away that was responsible for that mortgage payment? What is the reason that you cannot pay that mortgage? Were you just irresponsible with your finances? Did you mismanage your money, but you still have the ability to pay? Well, that's a better situation. So maybe a modification might be okay for you. But the modification alone doesn't stop your home from being able to get foreclosed unless you completely negotiate with the lender to extend your foreclosure date out. Okay. To keep this video from being too long, I just want to start off just telling you who I am and kind of just giving you some advice on why people lose their home. They don't lose their home because they don't have any options. They lose their home because they don't do anything. So don't let that be you. If you have a notification of default, the time to deal with it is now. If you are looking to have, if you're in the state of California and you want to have a private consultation, confidential consultation, no obligation, and just kind of talk about your options, whether you work with me or work with somebody, I'd love to talk to you. I'll have my information posted in the chat. Or if you're not in the state of California, reach out to a mortgage broker first and see what your options are. And just but whatever you do, just don't do anything. So again, my name is Carla Burris, owner of Moreno Mortgage and Burris Realty and Flex Cash Funding, where we help people recover and start over and not lose everything. Okay, so I hope this message finds you encouraged in that at least that you feel a little bit better knowing that the end of the road doesn't have to be a foreclosure. You can recover from this. This is not the end of your story. You can look back a year from now and be like, wow, I went through this and look at where I'm at now. So this is not the end of your story. So I hope you're encouraged.